The most painful deaths at sea ever. The ocean is one of the most incredible places on Earth. Vast, mysterious, and full of life. People love swimming in it, exploring its depths, and living along its shores. But beneath the waves lies a danger beyond imagination. The sea has claimed countless lives, often in the most painful and terrifying ways. Some deaths at sea are quick, but others are slow and unbearable. Massive tsunamis have swallowed entire cities. Shipwrecks have left people stranded, helplessly awaiting their fate. And the creatures lurking in the deep? Their venom can cause excruciating pain before death finally takes over. Imagine being dragged underwater by a monstrous wave, unable to breathe. Picture accidentally stepping on a stonefish, feeling venom so agonizing that people beg to have their leg amputated. Envision deep-sea divers being literally torn apart from the inside by a single wrong move. These aren't horror stories. These are real tragedies. The ocean is beautiful, but it's also one of the deadliest places on Earth. In this deep dive video, we'll explore the most painful deaths at sea, terrifying, relentless, and unforgettable, and ones you should be aware of if you ever get close to the ocean. On December 26, 2004, a massive earthquake with a magnitude of 9.1 struck the ocean floor off the coast of Sumatra, Indonesia. What followed was one of the deadliest tsunamis in history. The water suddenly receded from the shore, as if a giant creature was taking a deep breath. People rushed onto the beach to collect stranded fish, unaware of the nightmare about to unfold. Minutes later, walls of water, some as tall as a 10-story building, came crashing in at terrifying speeds. There was no time to escape. Entire cities were swallowed whole. Buildings collapsed like sandcastles. People were dragged into the sea, tossed around like rag dolls in a swirling nightmare. Those who didn't drown instantly suffered broken bones, head injuries, and even fatal infections from swallowing contaminated seawater. In total, over 225,000 people lost their lives. Survivors remember the deafening roar of the waves and the helplessness as loved ones were ripped from their arms. This wasn't just a disaster, it was a nightmare that changed lives forever. Hurricanes and typhoons, tsunamis aren't the only way the ocean unleashes its fury. Hurricanes and typhoons have wiped out entire communities, with winds strong enough to snap trees in half and waves high enough to engulf houses. In 2020, Hurricane Iota became one of the strongest storms ever recorded. Winds reached speeds of 155 miles per hour, 250 kilometers per hour, and the storm surge, rising sea levels caused by the hurricane, submerged entire neighborhoods. People were trapped on rooftops, helplessly watching as the ocean swallowed their homes. Those who tried to swim to safety were swept away by violent currents. Some drowned immediately. Others clung to debris, fighting exhaustion as the storm raged on. One of the deadliest typhoons, Typhoon Haiyan, struck the Philippines in 2013. The storm created waves as high as a 2-story building, destroying everything in its path. The sheer water pressure crushed cars and tore homes apart. Survivors described the chilling experience of being dragged underwater, struggling against debris, and helplessly watching as friends and family disappeared beneath the waves. What makes these ocean disasters so terrifying is how fast they strike. One moment, everything seems normal. The next, the world is completely turned upside down, and escape is impossible. The power of the ocean is unstoppable, and when it shows its full force, survival is never guaranteed. Before we continue with the video, be sure to hit the subscribe button and see how human mistakes in ocean creatures can be just as deadly. The Byford dolphin accident, a body torn apart. Deep sea diving is already dangerous, but for professional saturation divers, one small mistake can mean a horrific death. No accident proves this more than what happened in 1983 on the Byford Dolphin oil rig. The Byford Dolphin was an oil platform in the North Sea using a saturation diving system. Divers working at extreme depths had to live in a pressurized chamber with a special gas mixture. This allowed them to stay underwater for extended periods but meant they couldn't return to normal air pressure too quickly, because that would be fatal. On November 5, 1983, disaster struck. 5 divers were inside the pressurized chamber when a crew member accidentally unlocked a hatch, causing the chamber to depressurize instantly. The pressure dropped from 9 times the normal atmospheric pressure to regular air pressure in a fraction of a second. The result was horrifying. The sudden change in pressure caused the divers' bodies to explode from the inside. Blood and body tissue were violently forced through every opening: eyes, ears, nose, even the pores of their skin. One diver was literally torn in half, his remains scattered across the chamber. This accident is considered one of the most gruesome deaths in deep-sea diving history. The survivors, the ones who witnessed the aftermath, were left traumatized for life. The thought of being in a situation where your body is ripped apart from the inside is enough to send chills down anyone's spine. Deep sea diving remains one of the most dangerous professions in the world. Even the smallest mistake can have nightmarish consequences. The pressure of the ocean isn't just terrifying, it's deadly. The most painful creatures in the ocean. The box jellyfish, a death of unimaginable pain. If you think sharks are the deadliest creatures in the ocean, think again. The box jellyfish is small, nearly invisible in the water, and far more terrifying. It's one of the most venomous animals on Earth. Its sting causes unbearable pain, paralysis, and sometimes death within minutes. The stonefish isn't fast, big, or particularly scary looking, but it's one of the most painful creatures in the ocean. This ugly rock-like fish camouflages perfectly in the sand, making it almost impossible to spot. Step on it and you'll experience a pain so intense it's been described as worse than an amputation without anesthesia. The ocean is breathtaking, but it's also ruthless. From massive tsunamis and raging storms to venomous sea creatures and deadly diving accidents, the sea has claimed lives in terrifying ways. The ocean always keeps secrets. We still don't know everything that lurks in its depths. One thing is certain: if the sea decides to take you, escape is almost impossible. Want to hear more stories about the most painful deaths in the ocean and on land? Subscribe to our channel and comment below about the unbelievable accidents and natural disasters you'd like to see a video about. The ocean is stunning, but it never forgives.